EU Citizenship Initiative on how you go about taking your own EU citizenship initiative. 1. To assert your right to, as a 16-year-old, have the right to practice democracy 2 years before that. The general election, which only some of the young people have the right to practice through the Swedish church election, you therefore started from the Swedish School Board's school development, where it is clear that students have the right to participation and influence in their education and work environment, and must be able to hold meetings and organize one. It contributes both to the school's development work and increases the student's desire to learn. Here you get support in to develop an active student influence together with the students. In addition, you have 4 organs to work through. The students have the student organizations, the National Federation of Students, Sveriges Elevkårer and Sveriges Student Council at your disposal. 2. That the religious symbols in the flags of the nations that fly over the UN and the EU are in need for a new design. In particular, religion should not interfere with politics. 3. The top-level domain, CCTLDs, on which the country's IT infrastructure rests, works well. The industrialized countries, but despite aid from SIDA, there are many poor countries that are dependent on, among other things, assistance from SIDA and which still lacks a functioning top-level domain, such as .se, .us, etc. The poor CCTLDs and the CCTLDs of industrialized countries. With these 3 modules, the politicians can solve a most complex and controversial issues in the world, the Israel-Palestine conflict. At the same time as 16-year-old youths with different religions get the right to vote and be involved in solving the specific conflict. Parents and siblings of 16-year-olds with different religions also get the right to vote and can help resolve that conflict. Together, we develop democracy. In your school, junior high or high school where religious education takes place, you as a student must, regardless of your religion, raise the issue of the possibility that all young people who have reached the age of 16 get the same rights and opportunities to practice democracy 2 years before the general election that the Church of Sweden gives for Christians Protestants through the church election. You wondered how it is then that only some young people get practice democracy? How do you go about it, student democracy? 1. Student democracy. 2. In the classroom where teachers and students meet. 3. The Church of Sweden. 4. Other religious communities. 5. Minister of Education and Minister of Democracy. 6. Mass media. You should therefore start with student democracy, then you will continue in the form of theater or acting as can be shown to the public. Feel free to involve your parents, friends, and acquaintances, both younger and older, who have the same religion or a different faith. You are a Christian student who is a member of the Church of Sweden, has turned 16 and has been told that you have right to vote in the Church of Sweden. You were happy to be able to practice democracy for real and not just through the Youth Association and through student democracy. It is a good practice in democracy before general elections, the Wales. With your right to vote, you will influence the church's work and the choice of who will sit in the church meeting, which is the highest body. Furthermore, you were told that even the parties in the Riksdag, which you should vote for when you has turned 18, participates in the church election. Thus you discovered injustices and flaws in democracy, which means that not everyone who votes for the parliamentary parties in the general election have the right to vote in that election, the church election, where the anti-immigrant party SD